Well, howdy, folks. Welcome to Uninfluenced. This is the 1747th show of ours, and it's the first time I think I've introduced or welcomed you guys. I want to take a minute to shout out our co-host, Matt Holden.
Yeah, I do, Matt.
For keeping it clean and holding it down pretty much all the time, except right now. That's just why I'm filling in for him.
Yeah, well, we had the clap before I was ready to get the clap. So
I had the clap. Mm-hmm. And then what are we going to talk about today? Today, we got some big changes coming.
Yeah.
We're not going to tell you what those changes are. We're going to show you. And I know we say that every time. I am going to fill you guys in on one thing. I sold the 911. I didn't do a review before I sold it, so I'm going to give you a quick down and dirty while Matt finishes up that, just my thoughts on it and why it's already gone. Basically, it lacks emotion. Kind of like most guys in relationships, it's just emotionally fucking dead. And if that was my first car, or I hadn't driven all the other cars that I have, or if I didn't have the Pista as an example, I'm sure I would love it a lot more than I did. But the longer I drive these types of cars, the more I have come to appreciate that really raw, visceral, loud, vibrating, fucking angry, visceral feeling that some of them have, or in my opinion, a good sports supercar, hypercar should have. And the 911 just doesn't. It's kind of like it's like the girl next door that has a stable job and isn't fucked in the head and is just lame in the sack. I mean, that's basically what it is. It doesn't give you the holy fucking shit, this car is incredible. Performance-wise, I tuned it. Shout out to AIM for flashing the ECU. They did a fantastic job with it. It ran really great. It was fast. It was responsive. I did a catless downpipe with them also. The Sprint was it Sprint air filter?
Yeah.
Sprint air filter, and then the carbon wing. Not a lot of modifications. I mean, from a performance standpoint, air filters are, whatever. They help, but it's basically just a stage 1 tune and a fucking downpipe. And it was making about 700 wheel. And again, performance metric wise, it was on par with the Pista. It was every bit as fast, handled just as well. Straight line speed, fucking coring, you name it. I mean, by any measure with which you would, gauge a car's performance on, it was every bit as capable and competent as the Pista. But to drive them back to back, it was night and fucking day difference. I will say, from a handling standpoint, the stiffness in the vertical suspension with the 911 is pretty atrocious. The dampering, lateral and horizontal side to side handling and stiffness is not terrible. It's manageable, but I don't know if you notice, like on certain roads, at high speeds, like when you go over a little bit of a bump, I mean, it's jarring, fucking rough, to where it really makes it hard to enjoy. Like you're wincing because it's almost like, that like violent hits you from underneath so hard that it like fucking compresses your spine and chatters your fucking teeth. Like it's really, really rough on higher speeds. Now on a track, you wouldn't run into any of that, and I'm sure it would be a better driving experience there. But with it being all-wheel drive and just the way that the turbos kind of linearly spool up, and even with the full fucking downpipe, the exhaust was louder, but it still didn't have that like, holy fuck, that thing sounds good. Sound better than stock for sure, but still doesn't inspire you while you're driving. And so ultimately for a $300,000 car with $10,000-$12,000 worth of modifications. Again, the performance was there, but just the emotion, the connection to the road, the feeling, just the overall enjoyment and driver engagement is just not there anywhere near it is to, say, Matt's 720 or the Pista, or even my R8 with the supercharger on it. Huracans, like there's a lot of cars that from an emotion standpoint and that feeling connected to the road are just far, far better. And if I'm going to spend any money, but especially that kind of money on a fucking car, it has to tickle your fancy, and it just didn't. So I got rid of it. Now, Not going to tell you what's replacing it. That hopefully is going to be here this week. We will do a reveal for that, but that's for another show, which hopefully will be in the next week. So anyway, I wanted to share that. Apologize I didn't get the video review out there, but again, it's just I think especially on camera it would seem very sterile and benign, like it's just almost too well engineered for it to have that kind of spikiness or playfulness or real fun to drive for me.
Mm-hmm. So you asked me to take it to where it got sold to, so I took it and
crashed it.
Yeah, it's in a ditch. By the way, insurance should be calling. No, but I took it, and I was expecting, because at this point I hadn't drove a 911 Turbo S, the 992, because I had one too, but it'd probably been a month.
Yeah.
No, probably 2 months, but I hadn't drove one. And after putting yours together, I was waiting, and so we hit traffic. It was a normal day. I got it on it a couple times, and what the AIM guys did, I would say, is probably one of the best setups out of all the setups we played with.
Yeah.
It was perfect. But I didn't catch myself wanting to drive it fast. After I got on it, I think twice, I really played with it. And no bullshit, my wife in a stock Denali diesel beat me to where we were going because I was just doing 75, looking around,
Yeah.
It didn't make me want to push it.
Yeah.
And to me, cars that cost that much.
Yeah.
Now a doctor, a lawyer, the guy who just wants to get the fuck out of my way speed and don't care, it's a perfect car for that.
Yeah, like not a fancier and somebody that, the reliability, the understatedness of it, to be able to park it in parking lots and but performance-wise to jump on it, like the launch on that thing is absurd. It's the hardest launching car, especially set up that way, that I've ever driven. Off the line, and especially done that way, no fucking two ways about it. It's a sub 10 quarter-mile car. I'd say it's a fucking 9.8 probably.
Yeah.
And driving around town, if you keep it in manual and keep the revs up a little bit, it's more fun. But again, if you jump from that and driving it, whether it's, the 45-mile balls to the wall car meet drive or just driving around town on a Sunday afternoon or whatever to have some fun with it, and then jump in something like a Pista or a Tune 720 or any of the other shit that I mentioned, it fails, I would say, woefully. It woefully compares. It's just, so, for me, I'm not a collector. I've said that a bunch of times, but, if I'm going to spend, from a monthly nut standpoint, that amount of money on something, it's got to be every fucking thing that I want, and it just isn't. I wanted to like them. Fuck, it's my second one. I had the 991 that I tuned and downpiped and PDK tuned and had meth and a full titanium exhaust, and it was fast. It was a sub 6, 60 to 130. But similarly, like it just, I didn't find myself, even when racing and winning, it's just not the same as doing it in the Pista or some of the other cars. I'd say, the Pista and the supercharged R8 have been the two funnest cars to drive across the board, even though, there's plenty of cars out there that are faster. They're the most fun so far. But
we've said it over and over and over, though, that while I would say the 720, the fastest we've drove would be my 720, my orange one, and your R8 twin turboed were the fastest we've drove outside of the motorcycles.
Yeah.
They were the fastest we've drove, but they weren't the best cars.
No.
They handling, and that's what we've got into a lot of talking about, is the roundness of a perfect car. It don't have to be the fastest, but it has to be good at everything.
Yeah.
It can't just be fast. It can't just be good at handling it. There has to be, the Pista's the car. I mean, to date, the Pista's still the car. And people ask me, Matt, why don't you buy a Pista? Bitch, I ain't got that kind of money yet.
Well, so especially now, as much as they've gone up. And I will say, to compare the supercharged R8 to the Pista, I would give the slight edge to the Pista just because it's stock. Didn't have to fuck with it and not worried about any issues. But to be fair, also, of every car that I've had and every other car I've had and that you've had, we've messed with and modded, and every single one of them has had problems, except for the supercharged R8. So I mean, I didn't put 10,000 miles on. I put 7,000 or 8,000 miles on it with the supercharger and had absolutely no fucking problems whatsoever. And I drove the shit out of it. Shit, you drove it hard, so.
And that supercharger's still out running around on another car here in Dallas.
Yeah, with another fucking 10,000 miles on it. So, it's that setup for fun and quickness and just given, those naturally aspirated cars that are already pretty quick stock, that extra fucking next level of speed and quickness is such a nice combination.
Yeah. And that, it's hard to explain handling to people, but I'm going to give a small, for instance, this weekend, we have some stuff going on at the house. So my 720 never got plugged up. So the battery, when I went to start it, it showed service battery, which means test your luck, hope the alternator charges it, or pull that bitch back inside, plug up the charger, let it charge. So I ended up taking the GT500 out. So I'll give you guys a little bit about what we're talking about. That car in a straight line with what we've done, had no fucking problems trying to keep up with the other cars. Granted, there was a lot of traffic, so you didn't get to go balls deep, or there's no way that fucking car is keeping up. But it gave hell. Handling, though, once we hit that 150-ish, 160. Yeah. Now I powered through and I drove it, but
to me that's where you either enjoy it or you don't. If you're white knuckled and fucking nervous, that's very different from an adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
And to me that's not fun. You know, it just isn't. And
when you stop and you're scared.
Yeah, it's like once you get used to that competency at a high level at the fucking 180 plus speeds. It kind of ruins not having that, and it makes it not really want to fuck with it, and that's I think frankly why so few other times does it seem like we get into it out in town with other cars where they will hang at those higher speeds and anybody listening, if you're in the local area and you want to jump in on it, fucking let us know, because to me the more the merrier, and that shit is by far the funnest. I would say this drive was probably, it was at least as good as any other drive we've done. There was a bunch of other fast cars. The shitty part was the weather. It was fucking cold. Grip was not there. The warmest my tires got was about 85 degrees. And those Sport Cup 2Rs need to be at 120 for them to have maximum grip. And, especially starting out when they're like 38, 39 degrees, like they're just fucking hockey pucks. And so it got a little squirrely. We couldn't push it quite as hard as we wanted to, but at one point it was fucking snowing. And then we show up at the event, and it was cold as a motherfucker, but a lot of people showed up. Anyway, if any of you are at those shows or you're here local and you want to get in on the runs to the meets, fucking let us know, because that shit's awesome.
But keep in mind, ours aren't cruises to the meets. Ours are...
Yeah, it's who can get there the fastest.
Yeah.
So
hell, the only reason I lost you guys for, I would say I pulled up probably 4 or 5 minutes after you guys.
I don't think it was that long. Yeah, but 2 or 3 maybe. But
yeah, catching the kid getting sideways in my mirror, I was like, holy fuck! And I slowed down to make sure he didn't wreck, and I was like, nope, he's straight. Fuck him. Yeah. And I took off again. Yeah. It was that fucking kid can drive.
Yeah. Yeah, for his age, I'm really, really fucking surprised and impressed, man. And what he's driving, too. It's not like that's
it's not
just the top of the fucking food chain handling-wise. Not that it's bad, but...
he's giving it hell.
But, yeah, it does not handle, the way the cars we're driving do, and he does well with it.
Yeah, he's a trip. He's he's an inspiration. I'd almost want to get him on for a little... like a short segment on here to talk about what he's done from a 16-year-old. I think he started when he was 15. I don't want to misspeak, but it may have been 16 on. Yeah. Because we both talked to him about it, and it's like, motherfucker. Yeah. And, to hear him talk about, we're in class doing the virtual shit, and I'm over here selling shit on crypto and doing stocks. It's like, that kid ain't no dumbass. Yeah. It's an inspiration to see there's still people out there that have that spirit at that age that he knows what he wants. Like, he was asking me banking stuff, after we went to breakfast. He was, so, man, I heard y'all talking about this bank, and I was like, I'll hook you up, man. Good kid, though.
Are you gonna give any insight to your situation, or?
Mike spoke about right. There's some big changes coming to the channel. In here, we're going to talk about it, but we're going to do a big reveal that I would say, if we can pull this off with logistics and everything, I'm super pumped for the 2 to 3 videos we're going to be able to bring just off of the reveal, and then the
reviews of each.
Yeah, the reviews of each, and then the collection.
Yeah,
the
full garage tour. Mm-hmm. We are, and that is one thing I will spill the beans on. We're going to do an uninfluenced full garage tour where we bring everything that we have here and do kind of a uninfluenced garage tour and show you everything at the same time, which I think would be kind of neat.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. For the past 18 months, we've put in a lot of work to try to get where we want to be happy with what we have, because we don't like keeping things that we're not happy with. You guys probably see that. Some of y'all think, well, y'all just go through cars. Grand scheme of things, I'd rather go through a ton of cars, take losses here and there, than continue to take a loss over 5 years for something I'm just not happy with.
Well, it's, the reality of it is the ask of why is, I would say, because we can.
Yeah.
There's few other things in your life that you can kind of try out and get rid of in whatever that quickly if you're not satisfied with it. And so it's like, if you can swing it, do it. Because, I agree. Like, I'm not going to pay, a bunch of money for some shit that isn't exactly what I want. If it's not it, fucking get rid of it. But I also I know for both of us, and I think for most people, you can't drive somebody else's car, 20 miles or, test drive something at a dealership, even worse, I think, and really have an understanding. I mean, you got to spend some time with it and get really familiar and most importantly, I think, comfortable with pushing the car before you really know if you like it or not. And that takes time, it takes a few hundred miles really to get comfortable enough to really kind of start to really push it, for me at least. And
not to be a dick, but there's very few people that I'll let take my car for a couple hundred miles and be like, hey man, enjoy. Because at the end of the day, it is a lot of money that we're spending on them, but it's for fun. It's our stress relief. It's the one time I used to golf a lot, and it was part of my stress relief, but I keep getting older and hurting myself like an idiot. But I get out in these cars, I'm not thinking about business. I'm not thinking about, fuck, what do I got to do when I get home? I'm not thinking about shit except the enjoyment I'm having at that time.
Yeah, to me, it's really a form of meditation that way, because that's kind of the key with meditation, is being singularly focused on one thing and not allowing your mind to drift and get distracted and whatever. And that forces you to do that. And for me, like, I don't take vacations. I don't have a fucking summer house. I just, this is what I'm into, and that's what I put my hobby money and time, interest, bandwidth, et cetera, into, and that's the way it is. But.
Yeah, that's dead on, the meditation deal. We get that adrenaline. You get to, all the anger and shit from the 5-6 days of work is just almost melted the fuck away when you take that time and just enjoy. And it's okay to do by myself. Like, I'll go do it every now and then, but when you're with 1, 2, 3 people, it's just so fucking fun. Like I told y'all at the meet, there was a few times, and I do it quite a bit, and sometimes you'll text me, man, you okay? Because I'll fall back.
Yeah,
and it's because I know hills are coming, and just watching you guys, it's like a symphony, watching it go on. It's like, fuck, this is badass.
Yeah. And
it's relaxing to see it happening. So, we both have that same thing in common. I don't take vacations. He don't take vacations. We spend our vacation money's basically going to here.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, with what we've been working on, some of the shit my wife and you have offered up, I'm like, God damn, I got 2 motherfucking good people around me right now.
Hell yeah.
My wife's like, I will sell my body. I'm like, hell yeah, you will, bitch. But yeah, some cool things are coming up, and I'm excited. It's been a good 18 months in the making of getting here, and it's been really cool. There was something else car related I was going to bring up. Fuck, I can't remember what it was.
I got fucking Couple of emails about some shit car-wise that I wanted to bring up while you're looking. But
hell yeah. I got my other things are basically just smart ass. There's some stuff I thought about bringing up and talking about and kind of dancing around, but I don't even really want to. Last episode I upset some people because they didn't understand the show's entertainment. That's about as far as I'm going to get with it. We're here to entertain and give you guys our opinions and our thoughts on certain things. And that's what they are. They're opinions and thoughts.
Yeah.
And the only reason is we're amplified because we're able to get out in a group. But if we hurt y'all's feelings, I want to explain how the internet works for you guys. There's a little button. It's an X at the top. You can click that motherfucker at any time, and you can stop listening to shit that's hurting your feelings. Just so you know from now on.
Yeah.
The more you, what's that, Reading Rainbow, the more you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean,
somebody can throw that up right now.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at a little bit of it's to be continued. We may have some interaction here on the show in relation to some of it, but I have mixed feelings on it, I guess. I mean, on the one hand, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I try to put myself in the shoes of a listener because there's plenty of shows or YouTube videos that I watch, and there are times where I may be irritated by something or think somebody's a fucking dumbass or whatever. Again, like, it's free country, you want to comment. But for me, I just can't ever imagine being in a position where I would comment on somebody else's video, anything other than being supportive or asking a question about something in the video. Mm-hmm. I just don't get it. That's just me. I don't get it. It doesn't mean you can't do it, but I also think, if you are going to be constructive in your or if you're going to have criticism, be constructive in it. And by that, I mean, instead of just complaining about what you see, provide a solution. Say, hey, I think that you got this wrong here, and here's what actually the case is. Because when you're negative and kind of shitty about it, then it usually puts people on the defensive. And I think, again, if I'm looking through comments, objectively, where I don't have a bias on either side of an issue, and I see somebody taking the negative, almost troll-like, shitty attitude, like, to me, that just makes you look bad. That's my take on it, and that's all I'll say on it. You may hear more about some of these comments here. We're trying to work that out and line it up, but at any rate.
So you was talking about your thing. I was talking about the other thing.
Yeah, I don't even know what it is.
Who'd
you piss off?
The deal where I got to kind of text back and vent when I was pissed off. Yeah. I didn't let nobody proofread my text before I sent them out. Yeah.
Well, to me, it kind of in the same vein, is it like, I don't know. I mean, again.
For those of y'all that don't realize, I'm very unfiltered all the time. Well, most of the time. I do filter a little bit here, but Mike plays more even keel. And
I don't play more even keel.
Okay, he is. But I'm more, if I feel like just saying fuck you sometimes, I'll just say, and that's why my wife at times says she should proofread my text. Well, my wife wasn't home Saturday or Friday night. Someone texted me, and I replied. And instead of rereading my reply, fuck it, send it. So it was just like a car race. But, I mean, again, any of the subjects we talk about, these are our opinions. They're not facts. I mean, even some of the shit we read that right now could be a fact, a week from now has been debunked and is no longer a fact. We've all watched that shit happen with COVID. Yeah. Half the shit this is fact. A week later, oh, fuck, these masks are worthless.
Yeah.
And it's the same shit with our opinions or what we do read on here. We're just giving you opinions.
Yeah.
And then we're trying to make it funny when we talk about your mom. So
real funny.
Other than that, that's about it. GT 500, I do want to talk a little bit about that because I don't know how long its life's going to last, and I don't feel like cleaning it too much for a video. We may get a video of it, may not, but for those of y'all who are listening all the time, we've both driven it, and quick little rundown. I'm not going to go through the full review because I have a lot of notes. It's a great car. If you, again, like Mike said about the 911, it's a great car if you've never driven some of the cars we've driven. Bang for your buck and horsepower for the money, I would say it's up there with the top of the top.
Yeah.
And
No, for sure. I mean, for intro to next level speed cars, I can't think of one that is a better box checker for all of that stuff. And I will say around town, not getting past 120, 130, it's fun enough and close enough to all the other cars we've driven where I would even say like it's more fun to drive than the 911 around town. A lot more fun. It sounds way better. It's punchier and more responsive and more playful and just a more fun car. Where I would take the 911 all day long over the GT500 is on a morning meet drive. But that's the thing. Neither of us had pushed it at the higher limits speed wise, handling and what have you, and that just goes to show you that to make that cut and be kind of a well-rounded car, like it's got to be good at everything, and it's a little one-dimensional that way from the sounds of it.
100%. And a lot of the reviews you do see of guys on these track videos, the one upper hand we have is how we test them. We're not hitting 150 or 160 for a mile or a quarter mile. We're hitting that shit for a long ass period of time. So if there's any imperfections, we'll feel it. If it's, we're pushing that to a limit, but bang for your buck, great car. I wish we had a track closer to us so I could take it and like give it what it's supposed to have. But money, horsepower for dollar, and for those of you trying to be under that $100,000 mark and have a really good car that's affordable to make the next level, because you can get it past the 184 with just a simple tune, miles per hour. Maybe it's 187. I can't remember, but you can get past that with just a tune, and it's a good car. Tires suck that come on at factory. Keep in mind, mine's not the carbon fiber track pack. It is fun though. Around town, like you said, just punching that motherfucker when you're doing 40 and it just breaks the tires loose. It's a fucking blast. The shifting on it, I love it at times. I hate it at times because I don't know if you experienced this, but it has that where it'll just, if you're on any kind of incline, where it'll just start sliding back like a regular manual. And I think that's fucking cool as shit that it does that.
The Pista does that too. To me, in manual, it shifts fucking phenomenally well.
Yeah.
I mean, the gearbox on that fucking thing is, I'm really impressed and proud of Ford for the job that they did on that, because it's fucking spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that in auto there are instances, and I wouldn't say it's often, but there were a couple of instances where it didn't shift quite like I thought it should, or as good as some of the others.
Was it the bucking? Because I had a couple of
just where it's kind of maybe not sure what fucking gear to go in, and it's just kind of clunky almost. Mm-hmm. But again, it's not like it's all the time. It's it was enough to notice, but whereas in some of the other cars, which granted, if you're paying 2, 3, 4 fucking times as much, there shouldn't be any of that. But it's kind of nitpicky. I mean, it's not going to make you hate driving the car or take a bunch of performance away from it. So
what I wish they would do, I wish all these manufacturers, I give GMC this. So the GMC has these steps, which they all do. There's the entry-level SUV, and then you get to the higher-tiered cars. Well, this new body, they actually got smart. The GMC Denali has a totally different interior, and you can't get it in any other car except the Denali.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, so the kind of the way the Raptor used to be.
Yeah. How the Raptor was totally different.
Yeah. Now you can get F-150s that have the same front end lights. Yeah.
Yeah. If you reach the top tier of any vehicle, if there's a stepping stone and you reach the top tier, I think there should be more specialness to it.
Yeah.
The GT350, the regular GT350 has old analog gauges from the older cars. It don't even have the digital cluster.
Yeah.
The regular GT has a digital cluster. It's an upgrade. So the GT500 went to the digital cluster. And it's upgrade your radio. Y'all have the nicer radio out that's in the F-150s.
Yeah.
You could put that in that dash. There's plenty of room to do it. Update that, The seats are manual leaning back. And these are nitpicking things, but for $100,000 and you're at the top tier of this platform, I think that customer should have top tier options.
To me, at a minimum, there's no reason for it not to come with either the King Ranch loaded interior or the Raptor loaded interior.
Yeah.
Big screen, everything being exactly the same. There's no reason for that,
Yeah.
because to me, if the concern or the retort to that is, well, no, R&D wise, it doesn't make sense to develop a whole new, like those already exist and they're nicer than what's in there.
Yeah.
So
the aftermarket community is already fixing that.
Yeah.
And while I love aftermarket, I mean, fuck, I put that shit on everything. Something aftermarket most all the time. Why do you give them that option to make a better radio than you did from the factory?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
It should simplify it, make it nicer. If your customer's spending that money, make it an occasion to get in that vehicle.
Yeah.
If I'm, for instance, the Denali over the SLT, it's $5,000. But I feel like I got that $5,000, not earned it, but I got that $5,000 worth when I step in that truck.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing with the new trucks. And it's a GMC thing. Chevy's taken that approach too now, and they're going to try to make something more special on their end that's different. And Cadillac, of course, Cadillac's going to stay Cadillac, but I wish Ford would take and do that same thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they have the outlet, and I think it would also help with some of these elements they're having a hard time making, because you can get them in the Denalis. Why? Because the buttons are different, things are different, so heated seats and shit. Right now, some of the GMCs and Chevys, you can't even get heated seats. The top trucks coming in have no heated seats, no heated steering wheel. And while that sounds shitty that I'm bitching about that, again, if you're spending that money on a truck that's that high level,
yeah, it should come with it.
It should have it.
Yeah.
But this one, the one coming in up the road where we bought it, no front parking sensors, no rear parking sensors, no rear camera.
Yeah, it's crazy.
This is a $85,000 truck.
Yeah, it's no good.
No heated wheel, no heated seats, no heated or cooled. It's like, so this bitch is an SLT or a fucking work truck with different badging on it, and you're still charging $80,000. Yeah, that's some bullshit. But I wish the American automakers would step up their interior game just a little bit more. They're getting close.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think we've talked about that with certain bikes and really all the exotics. There's certain things that I think should just come standard. A lift being one of those, like exotics. That shouldn't be an option on any car that's fucking 3 inches off the ground should come with a fucking lift.
Yeah.
But I'm tracking. One thing that I just thought of, a little unrelated, but what we were talking about earlier, is that if you're local, I think it'd be cool to do and drop some shit in the comments if you have any feedback or in addition to, but like people that are here, or even if they're not, but they want to bring their car here and like co-review it, like that'd be cool. Like you can review your car on our show and we'll, kind of half review it too or whatever. But to me, that would be cool as an open-ended invitation to anybody. If they want to bring a car, a motorcycle, whatever, bring it here and we'll review it on the show. I think that'd be neat.
Yeah. Just remember, if you let us drive it, chances are we're going to push it a little hard. And I will say this with a disclaimer, we don't push them, like he said. I still won't push his car as hard as I would push mine.
Yeah.
So in fact, I may break it, I might not.
Yeah. Yeah, I won't drive anybody else's car as hard as I'll drive my own. I'll drive them, but not full.
Even when I tell him to break my shit, he won't go break it.
Yeah.
Won't even try. Slacker.
Can't do it.
So we both got out of pretty much paying a detailer with mistakes happening here and there. I'm not going to lie, with it getting cold, I decided to hire a detailer again. And we talked about this. Was it leaving here last week? To where there's times, though, where I still do want to get out there and clean my shit. It's not that I'm lazy. It's I want a clean car, and I don't want to clean my shit when it's 30, 40 degrees outside.
Or when it's 105.
Yeah. Either. When it's in that 70-ish, 80-ish range, it's not bad. You're still sweating your balls off, but you get that enjoyment of cleaning it.
Yeah. Well, there's a certain level of appreciation doing it yourself, too, where, I think it's good to go over the car that way, too, to know what's going on with it, and you notice things and what have you. And it's kind of a respect and appreciation thing. So I do like doing it myself. But yeah, there are times where if I'm busy or, again, shit, like you said, super shitty weather. Or if it's like, holy fuck, this thing is beyond fucking filthy.
Yeah.
And it's just better to have, somebody that does that shit for a living with all the stuff to do it, then that's preferable sometimes. But
like when I get dog hair all in my shit, I don't want to clean that.
All up in your shit.
Yeah, all up in there. Yeah, but we were using the same detailer, and that fool needs to put a shirt on. I know he listens to this. You motherfucking clean my car. You fuck a shirt on. Asshole. So funny story, and I need to send you, see if I can find the video. His fucking new helper, he's fucking runs the generator out of gas, and he's over there, you stupid motherfucker, and he's filling the generator up, and you've seen him start that generator, right? It's the one, no restriction. It's just a smooth pull.
Oh, yeah.
He goes to pull it, and that fucking helper's leaning over. That motherfucker elbows him right in the fucking mouth. I'm like, God damn. Dude's fucking awesome. Damn near knocked out, bloody and shit. I'm like, man, you'd be fired as fuck if you was on my crew.
That's fucking funny.
That shit's a trip. Yeah. I got to congratulate the Rams.
Yeah.
They won the Super Bowl, and they had another successful riot season. I mean, why do that?
I don't know, man.
I'm so confused on why. All right, let's celebrate. Hey, let's go rob this fucking place over here and steal all their shit. Yeah. Why do that to your city?
Fucking dumb. I think it's just an excuse to steal shit, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what other or what possible justification you can have for celebrating in that fashion for anything. I don't care what it is, just
celebration or angry to me. Yeah. Rioting is something that just don't need to fucking happen. So and here's where I'm going to get with this, and y'all probably won't agree with me, but you rioted and burned shit down in cities because you didn't agree with the police. You celebrated last night and you rioted and burned shit down because you were happy. Where's the fucking happy medium there to where you can have cool shit and not want to fuck shit up? Or you can be disappointed and not want to fuck shit up. I get angry all the time. Fuck, I'd be burning shit down daily if I fucking just fuck shit up because I was mad.
No, I mean, I think there's the happy medium is, in the interest of preserving the First Amendment and actually utilizing it, is that, just follow the letter of the Constitution or the First Amendment. Is peaceful protest, is the smart answer, because number one is that you're not breaking any laws. Number two is that, I think, like from a perspective of, you catch more flies with honey than you do vinegar type of thing, is that or no different than, I'll use an analogy with parenting. As a parent, if you're screaming and breaking shit and scaring the fucking crap out of your kids, their response to that is twofold. It's being scared and kind of, detaching themselves from what's actually taking place, coupled with resentment for that parent for making them feel that way. And I think if if you're celebrating or pissed off, the way to do that is in a manner with which you're not going to create those two scenarios where you're breeding resentment and and either scaring or making whoever the people around you are completely detached and separating their mind from that scenario. It just doesn't help. So that's my take on it. But
I was just sitting here thinking, like, I had some good news today. I could imagine you pull up on your bike and a Molotov cocktail. It's talking about, fuck yeah!
I'm going to burn the studio down.
Yeah.
We hit 100,000 subs. I'm going to burn this bitch down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just sitting here and I'm like, I don't understand. Why would I fuck shit up because I'm happy? I can I can almost understand the anger side of it. Because, when I was younger, I've hit the wall, literally hit the wall.
Yeah, no, I mean, to me, the being angry about something at least is rational from that standpoint. It's like, hey, you're pissed, and this is how you're responding, kind of in kind.
Yeah.
The celebrating thing makes fucking absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
I mean, zero sense. There is no rationale or logic that to me can be followed where it actually makes sense that you would break shit and fuck things up because you're happy. Like, that's just fucking dumb.
Riding my bike over to your house and you'd be like, fuck yeah, good shit just happened with the book, and you kick my shit over.
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah.
All right then.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I'm going to go home.
Yeah. I'm going to go burn your shit down.
Yeah.
Now.
I'm going to pick my shit up and I'm going to go to the house.
One of the emails that I was looking at, it was about the Supra, which we ran into one this weekend.
Yeah, we did.
If you're listening and you drove that, fucking kudos, because that thing was quick. For sure not fucking stock, but this one is Ryan Turk's Judd-powered Supra. Sounds like an F1 car. It's fucking spitting flames out the goddamn thing.
Damn.
Yeah.
That Supra this weekend, we ran into it. It was pretty fucking impressive. What it is, I ain't going to give out his license plate, but he had a cool personal plate, too.
If you're listening, comment, because it'd be cool if I can throw you in the mix on Saturday mornings. But this dude put a Judd Racing V10 in the current Toyota Supra. That's the one that, it fucking sounds like an F1. It revs to 11,000.
No shit.
Yep, revs to 11,000. 630 to the, or no, I'm sorry, 730 to the wheel. Whereas stock is 382.
What does that thing weigh?
I don't know. The regular Supra?
Yeah.
I'll check.
Yeah.
Since you two fuck jobs aren't doing it.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Fuck jobs.
30. Oh shit, it's pretty light. It's 31 to 3,400 pounds. That's actually a little heavier than I would have thought for how small that fucking thing is. But
yeah, I was thinking 2,900 for some reason, just off looking at size wise.
Yeah,
what it should be. But if thinking on the platform it's built on, that makes sense.
It's basically an M4, right?
Yeah. I still want to know that fucking M3 4-door shit we saw. Is that a real thing?
I don't think so. One of you guys looked that up. Is there such thing as a 2-door coupe M3? I don't think there is, but
yeah,
I think it was fake badging that we saw this weekend. But it's the best fake badging I've seen on a car because it looked absolutely fucking real. It wasn't crooked or miscolored or fucking higher
looked
than
like
it was supposed
from
to be.
Amazon.
Yeah, is there such a thing? You can just say it. Yeah, there is.
Yeah, apparently there's I'm looking at
Or all the M3s are coupes, right? The M4s are 4-doors, or is it?
No, it's the other way around.
It's the opposite.
Every M3 I've ever seen, other than this weekend, was a 4-door.
Yeah.
And the
11 BMW M3 base, and it's a fucking 2-door.
you can.
Yeah,
That's fine. Yeah, so that must have been it then, because otherwise they don't make that.
Huh.
That's interesting. Thanks.
Yeah, because we're sitting there, and I was like, that bitch got to be fake. I couldn't see it. And you're like, that's the best fake fucking badging I've ever seen. I was like, I just want my goddamn paint.
I mean, now it makes sense. It did look older, and it had that like striped venting on the just behind the front quarter panels that looks like from like the CLK 500 Mercedes, like that old SLS, whatever the fuck cars back like 10, 12 years ago. But
yeah, man. It was a good weekend. We had some fun shit happening this weekend. From Thursday to fucking probably tomorrow has been pretty hectic so far getting shit lined out.
yeah.
Ups and downs like for me, ups and downs like a motherfucker.
Yeah. I will say that he and I are both fucking beyond ecstatic to bring to you guys what's coming over the next week or so. So fucking stay tuned.
Yeah, 100%. Bitch, this text is late as fuck. Also on the, I want to go on and just add in what we talked about the other day, that little fucking 13-minute run we had just around.
Yeah, the $1 million fucking.
Yeah, add that in on the back side of this, producer Dan. I want to remind you guys too, in the not comments, the fucking description, we have Ask.Uninfluenced@gmail.com. We want you guys to go over there and ask us questions, because on Mondays now at 9 Central Time, 9 a.m. Central, we answer your questions. Keep in mind, they're just our opinions. These aren't facts, because our fucking producers and editors won't Google shit for us. Fucking asshole motherfuckers. No, but for real, go over there, check it out. Make sure to email us. we want you guys, I get sometimes you want to ask some silly shit, but if it's silly and it's something we could have fun with, yeah, I'm going to mess with it. But if it's some dumbass shit, I'm just going to delete it. So make it useful comments or questions, not comments. Other than that, I just want to remind you guys about that, and go give us some fucking reviews on Mic Drop and Uninfluenced. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
You got anything else on this one today?
I can't think of anything, man. You are going to see after this, we're going to be doing a review, a bike review of something that I got in that now I can finally give a decent review on since I've spent some time with it, which will be coming out, I don't know, after this or before it or fucking who knows. But
it'll be coming out within the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, so.
Our main problem right now is, it's a good problem to have. We're trying to bring you guys more and more content, both on the podcast side and for those of you who are just listening on Spotify, iTunes, and iHeart. Make sure to go check out the actual YouTube channel, because that's where we're going to do more of these car and motorcycle actual reviews. Yeah. While the podcasts are still going to come out as normal, we're going to get into where we're bringing out this content as well, just to kind of give you guys more of a day in the lifestyle stuff and some of the shit we do day to day and the shit we have in our garages, because we're excited. We don't do it more as a brag like some of these, new $2 million motherfucking car coming in, and then they just show you a car at a dealer that they're never going to fucking buy. Yeah. We buy our shit and we actually drive the fuck out of them, and we want to share them with you guys so you can tell us your opinion on what you think. Like the TRX video. Yeah. I have a ton of people who don't agree with me, and that's great. That's, again, those were my opinions on that, and you're more than welcome to your opinion on that car. I hope your opinion, you're actually buying one and doing your personal review and not just what you've seen on some of these people who drove them 15 miles and think they know what the truck is. Yeah. But that's what we want to share with you guys, actual owner reviews, because that's what we do. We own them, we review them.
And like I said, if you have one that you want to review or have us review on the channel, fucking bring that shit.
Yeah, send that over to the Ask.Uninfluenced, or Ask.Uninfluenced@gmail.com too, because in turn you're asking to come out and check it out. Yeah. Do a review, and we'll have some fun with it, and probably get you to come on the actual podcast, talk a little bit about your car for 5 minutes, and then get you over to the real one.
Mm-hmm. You have $1 million that you have to spend on cars, and not with resale. Well, if I buy this, then I can resell it, whatever. What are you going to buy?
I can buy whatever I want with the million, and it has to be cars.
Yeah, like if you have a $1 million allocation to buy vehicles.
Okay. I'm going to buy an 812 Superfast.
And that's including any mods you want to do on them.
So I have to include the mods on that?
I mean, if you want to do them. Okay. Like I'm saying, it doesn't have to just be stock. Like if you said, I would buy a fucking bone stock Performante and then spend another $150 at UGR, whatever. But
I'm really intrigued by, no bullshit, the Performante. In all honesty, here's what I'd do. I get an 812 Superfast with Novatec exhaust.
So that's
no tune.
$450.
Yeah, $450. And then I'd buy a Perf and then send it for a stage 3 at UGR. That should be around 5? Yeah. Around 5, so that, and I got 50,000 left. I'm gonna buy some wheels for both those cars.
I think that's a solid fucking buy. I mean, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, because that's what you're getting, I wouldn't get either one of those. But same question to me, I guess, if I had $1 million. Since you have the Perf with the UGR, I would skip it, and I would probably, I would keep the Pista, maybe do the Novatec exhaust, and not maybe, I would. I mean, if it's like, hey, here's $1 million, I would do it to see what it's like. I mean, now having put as many miles stock as I have on it, I know what it's like, in every way. So I would like to see what the Novatec exhaust and stage 2 tune on it, which is supposed to take it from 710 to like 802 horsepower, which should be enough to notice. But yeah. And then I would probably get, that 765 LT.
But would you M-tune it?
I don't think so, man. I don't. I mean, that thing already does, to me, like your car now is perfect. Like the 720 speed-wise, like I just don't see. I mean, honestly, the Pista for that matter is fast enough. Like I say, I would do the Novatec thing. It's like, why even fucking bother? But, and I would also clarify is that if I'm keeping the Pista, then that's the only way I could afford both of those cars, because to buy a Pista from scratch now and a 765, you're not going to do that under $1 million. But
yeah, no, you couldn't do that.
But yeah, I think I would leave it alone. But throw the asterisk in there, like I'd have to drive it first and see. But if it drives stock the way your car drives now with the mods that you've done on it, to me, there's no reason to fuck with that. You know, but
that's why my car ain't tore apart. I don't feel no need to do anything else to it, really.
Yeah,
half the stuff they're there.
Yeah, I mean, I think at that level, I mean, how many times have we've tried it, right? Is that I think the faster you get, the more power you have and all that, the more it takes the drivability away in other areas, which I don't want, you know, because that was the breaking point, is going into the low fours, like on the R8, it made it difficult to drive in other ways. It made it as one-dimensional in an unusable way, for 60 to 130, that the same way that, say, a drag racing car is for the drag strip.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's great for that, but it sucks in every other way. And to me, that's kind of how I felt the R8 was.
So now let me reverse that. You only have $400,000. You don't have to spend it all. You can buy one car. You have to keep that car for 3 years. Mm-hmm. And you can't, the Pista don't count, because I know what you owe on that,
Yeah.
So fuck that. It has to be a new buy, and it can be something you've owned.
So it could be it'd be that sticker price then?
No, so it could be a modified car still for that price.
I'm just saying, like, sticker price, not because you can get a 765 for $400 if you build it at sticker.
Yeah.
I'd have to drive one, but it would be a toss-up for me between three cars probably, which is a Performante with a supercharger on it, the 765 LT, you know, again, sticker price, you can get it for $400, or an F8.
Oh yeah, F8. I didn't think about that,
because it's close to the Pista, close enough where, you know, and it'd be probably even a little better daily type of car. Not that I mean, the Pista is good enough to be a daily car, but
yeah. If it were me and my wife talked about it, and the reason she thinks I really love the 812, and she could be right, is because I like being different.
Yeah. And
you don't see a ton of them. After you look at body lines on a lot of them, outside of the Pista, regular 488 and Aventador, they all start to look the same. The McLaren has a different look to it, but remember, I said we have to keep that car for 3 years.
Yeah.
I would not want to own a McLaren and worry about it for 3 years.
Yeah.
I have a hell of a time keeping it for 3 months and worrying about it.
You have a hard time keeping anything for 3 months, though,
That's
to
true.
be fair.
That's true.
I mean, what have you kept that
My
long?
wife.
Yeah.
And that's iffy sometimes. I would honestly, looking back at, because we had this talk yesterday. I forget where the fuck we drove to. But no, it was on the way back from Tactical. We had this talk. There's 3 cars I really like, and I've always liked. The Performante is the car that honestly made me fall in love with supercars.
Yeah.
When I drove the one in Vegas, and still to this day, I think about that car. And it's probably because it's kind of one of those weird cars that I haven't owned it. I just drove the shit out of one. I know it's not super fucking fast compared to what we're used to, but what we talk about emotion was there with that car.
Yeah.
Which brings me to a GT3 RS. I've never owned one. I've drove the GT3, never the RS. I did that on a track day. Great fucking car. Not as fast, but very fucking engaging. Both those are engaging cars. And my off-the-wall affordability car, keep in mind the Perf I would supercharge. The GT3 I would do fucking Dundon exhaust and do a little bit of mods through them. I would look at an R8, relook at it, like say that Decennium I found. And the reason is, because this ain't going on the air, who built your fucking R8 build it that bad that it just wasn't engaging after that versus is underground that good to where if they lower it with the right springs, put the right wheel set up.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the thing that no matter who does the build, lowering springs, fucking whatever, is that the reality of it is the R8 from an aero standpoint has none.
Yeah.
You know, the parts that look like it are fake.
Yeah.
You know, so no matter what you do to it, it's just not going to handle the way that the perf does. And take stock to stock, perf to R8 Nürburgring times, it's a 40-second difference.
That's huge.
I mean, that's a calendar.
Yeah.
You know,
and
I mean,
on the ring, that's huge.
Yeah, it's 728 versus 650 something.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I mean, to me, like and especially if you're going a twin turbo build where you're talking 1,000 plus to the wheel, motherfucker, I'm going to want really solid handling and absorption of speed and good fucking aero that provides some legitimate downforce, not a cheese dick little spoiler that gives you 30 pounds or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
where we are today versus where we are 18 months ago.
Yeah.
The speeds we'll get up to and not give
totally
a fuck
different.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so to me, yeah, I mean, if I'm going to go UGR, I mean, as cool as that Decennium is, with that amount of power, I'm going to want a seriously good handling fucking car.
Yeah.
But
I've been looking back and forth at the perfs quite a bit lately.
Yeah. I mean, I've never driven one. I'd love to. To me,
it's not a hurry. So here's an example for you. We've both drove Mustangs, a normal Mustang. And you get in that car outside, that's not a fucking Mustang.
Yeah.
It's the same. If you ever drove a Huracan and you get in a perf,
same kind of difference.
they're fucking totally different.
Yeah.
It's 488 versus fucking Pista.
Yeah. And I've heard that same comparison 720 to 765 is that the 765 is so like emotionally charged in a good way if that's what you want. If you want a more comfortable daily, then the 720 is definitely the better go. But
honestly, I don't give a fuck about comfort. I mean,
neither
to
do
an extent, I want some.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get from here to Las Colinas or the Colony and be like, God damn, I call the chiropractor.
Yeah.
I
agree. Home. I mean, it's funny that my viewpoints on that or preferences, I guess, have come full circle that way. You know, when I first got into them, I wanted, you know, some decent ride quality and refinement and good tech inside. And,
R8.
You know, the R8 is great for that. The 911 is great for that. I mean, even if I was comparing the R8 to the 911, the R8 is the more fun car to drive by quite a bit. You know?
I think it's the sound.
It is. It's the sound and how high it revs. You know, I mean, plain and simple. The shifts on it, the transmission, that drama is what makes that a fun car to drive, even bone stock. You know,
Yeah.
but
It's like I've heard people say, and there's another example: the F8 and the Pista are the same. They're not.
they're not.
The Evo and the Perf are the same because that's the same type of thing. They made the Evo to be comparable.
Yeah.
But I've known people with both that have had both, and they're like, they ain't the same at all.
Yeah. No, I know it.
I'd like to one day get my hands on a Perf and
me too.
BF supercharge it and fucking. I think that's the.
Well, I mean, here's my take: is that I mean, I haven't driven one, so I'm speculating here, but. You know, you've driven a perf, you've driven a Pista. You know, a perf with a supercharger on it, speed and performance wise, is about like a Pista, maybe a cunt hair slower, close enough to not matter.
Yeah.
To me, because the Pista is stock and what you're going to spend on a perf with a supercharger, it's going to be a little less than buying a Pista.
Might as well buy a Pista.
To me, you might as well buy a Pista. I mean, that's my take. I don't know. Like to me, if I'm going to get a Performante and want more done to it, which I know I would twin turbo it and not supercharge it. Because to me, like if I had a fucking Performante and spent the money to supercharge it and all that, and then a bone stock Pista fucking walks away from you, like that would suck.
Yeah, that's when you hit them with the hip maneuver on their asses.
Yeah, but